Phumzile Gogo has been living in Nkandla for her entire life. She's never stayed in a home with electricity and must fetch water with her donkey every day.
Inzuza kusebenza nje azikho nathi njengoba siyabantu abasha asisebenzi akuveli mathuba futhi emsebenzi nemigwaqo asinayo.
20 minutes away from Gogo's home stands President Jacob Zuma's private residence. Government admits that the property cost over 200 million rand to upgrade. Surrounded by grinding rural poverty and poor service delivery, it has become a site that has birthed controversy, anger and pain.
Ngiphatha kabuhlungu ukuthi sithi sino president wethu wangakithi wakithi angayi nokuthiwa ngithi wakithi ajike yena angazakwazi ukuthi asinakekele sigcine sihluphe nje ubahlupheka nje la.
Nkandla's mayor believes the community's anger over the president's upgraded home drove them to vote the ruling ANC out in last year's municipal elections.
People are not happy about the issue of so much money directed to only that part of Nkandla, because Nkandla is a very huge area. Definitely people will not be happy until they get a proper explanation.
Public Works Minister Thuli Madonsela has admitted that the Nkandla upgrade was characterized by unspecified irregularities and that a staggering 135 million rand of the project was spent on government's operational costs, including consultancy fees. But he steadfastly refused to release the report that details how and why the spending was allowed to go ahead.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Tandeka Nene is a former maths teacher who reportedly scored the biggest slice of the lucrative Nkandla pie. She counts President Zuma's second wife, Ma Thuli, among her friends. Despite reportedly getting Nkandla tenders worth 100 million rand, Nene's Bonolena company couldn't afford to pay 174,000 rand debt to a truck rental company and went into liquidation.
Are you coming with me?
She was bailed out by the Industrial Development Corporation. But some of the workers who she allegedly subcontracted to do work at Nkandla say she hasn't paid them. Contractor Goodman Nkandla claims Nene contracted him to do brickwork, concrete work and plastering at Nkandla. He says she failed to pay him what she had promised and he lost his business.
Lo nyaka loya ngaze ngadayisa imoto futhi ngafulele labantu labo okuyibona babe sebefika ekhaya yabo. So na still namanje basafika abanye. So ngimsendela ama SMS ukuthi ngicela ukuthi at least engikhokhela uhafuze ngikwazi ukuthi nami ngikhokhele laba bantu laba. At least kube yimina ke ngatholi lutho. Azange kwenze lokho.
Bangaka abantu?
Abantu engibakoletayo is more than 15.
Tulani and Ndwandwe worked at Nkandla for 8 months. He says workers had to fight to be paid and most often received just 1,000 rand a month, far less than what they had been promised.
Awungiphathanga kahle phela mawusuku usebenza uyashe ekhaya udanyeza ngizokwenza into ethile mhlawumbe ngizolungisa izinto ethile egcineni ugcina ungafikanga futhi ungatholanga imali nasesisweni ubulambile futhi so nje ngangisho ukuthi bangiphatha kahle.
Tandeka Nene agreed to speak to us on the phone, but denied claims that she failed to pay her Nkandla subcontractors.
The problem with Goodman is that she doesn't know how to count.
She says she had to sign a security clause when she won certain Nkandla tenders and can't discuss the work she did there. She's hinted that her debt problems were caused by government departments not paying her on time. Despite court records that clearly show that Nene's business was put under liquidation and proof of the IDC settlement, she denied it all. She brands those who took her to court over alleged non-payment as racists.
As a black woman, I can say that it is very tough for us, more especially since construction has been dominated by white males. Now I'm competing with those companies that are big. So I'm a threat to everyone. So for me, it's not a surprise that when I'm there, everyone is trying to pull me down and to destroy me.
Nene has at least tried to answer her detractors, but other alleged Nkandla tender beneficiaries are far less eager to explain their involvement in the project.
Mrs. Mfeka, I'm Karyn Maughan from ETV. We've been trying to get hold of you to do an interview with you. Is it possible for you to talk to us? Mrs. Mfeka, please can you just talk to us? We just want to understand what happened with Nkandla.
Businesswoman Pamela Mfeka reportedly won an Nkandla construction tender worth 47 million rand.
She doesn't seem very keen to talk to us. We've gone to her offices, we've left her messages, we've phoned her a number of times, and at this stage we don't think we're going to be able to get her to give any kind of explanation for Public Works' claims that she massively overcharged them on the Nkandla contracts.
Public Works Minister Thuli has made it clear that government's own regulations demand that contractors can't add anything more than 20% to their costs. But he's admitted that this rule was flouted during the Nkandla upgrade. Neither Mfeka or Nene would address these claims. Resi has promised South Africa that government will take action against those responsible for the Nkandla debacle.
In view of the irregularities found by the task team, the report will be referred to the law enforcement agencies, including the Special Investigation Unit, the Auditor General, and the South African Police, with the view to investigate any possible acts of criminality.
Despite those promises, it appears that no one has been charged over the massive overspending and financial malpractice that defined how government conducted its Nkandla upgrade. Nor have the public, and particularly the residents of Nkandla, been told why and how this overspending was allowed to go ahead. It's Sunday morning in Nkandla, and Phumzeni Mtombeni is leading a church service in this tiny mission station. He loves living in Nkandla, but witnessing the expensive upgrade to the president's home has left him feeling forgotten and betrayed. Government's own statistics reveal that it would cost just over 160 million rand to electrify the whole Nkandla area, far less than it cost to upgrade the president's home.
It's very bad because our president thoughts for his own family and his own place, not Nkandla widely. I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed with our government because I think they thought for themselves, their families, their relatives, not for everyone.
The Public Protector will be handing over her provisional report into the Nkandla scandal to Zuma's office and government in the following week. What comes of it is anyone's guess. But arguably, government is obligated to explain this expensive debacle, not in secret reports and closed parliamentary sessions, but to the people of Nkandla themselves. How did 206 million rand of state money get spent on one man's home, amid an ocean of obvious need? Perhaps it owes them that explanation, and perhaps an apology. Karyn Maughan, KwaZulu-Natal.
News that moves. eNCA.com.